Hey, Mr. Mullen here. Today we're going to talk about teaching tonal patterns and rhythm patterns. Pattern teaching is one of the cornerstones of music learning theory. Patterns are the words of music. As teachers of audiation, of musical thinking, we transmit small bits of musical meaning to our students on a daily basis to build their musical vocabulary. Over time, students are taught musical context, that is, tonality and meter, and then students are able to use those bits of musical vocabulary, those patterns, in meaningful ways. They can sing or chant them, they can read them, they can write them, they can compose with them, and they can put them together to improvise musical statements. Music learning theory rhythm patterns are 4 macro beats in length, 4 big beats. Ba, 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 ba. For example, ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. A teacher chants a pattern and the students echo back, either as a group or individually. One of the most important things students need to do to perform a pattern, a rhythm pattern or a tonal pattern, is to take a full audiation breath before they echo that pattern. This takes practice. A surefire way to get students to take an audiation breath is to jump into the pattern. So one of the most important things that we do in here as a class is our tonal patterns and our rhythm patterns. So we need to work on our coordination. We need to coordinate as musicians. Let's work on coordination. I'm going to give you a pattern and I'm going to ask you to do a jump and breathe and say the pattern. So me first. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Me first. Ba, 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 ba. Now sometimes I might still be chanting and we still have to jump and take that breath. For example, ba, 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 ba. So now I hear some of you taking the breath like this. Ba, 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 ba. But what I want is ba, 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 ba. Let's try it. Me first. Ba, 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 ba. Now listen. Very good. To keep the lesson as efficient as possible, as teachers, we need gestures to convey our meaning and behavioral expectations to our students. The first gesture we need is a gesture that means audiate. Don't do anything, just listen. During that time, the teacher establishes tonal or rhythmic context. There are many ways to do this. The point is, we don't want these patterns to be isolated from a tonality or from a meter. In music learning theory, we establish tonal context with a tonal sequence. So, la, so, fa, mi, re, ti, do. For example, for major tonality. Mi, fa, mi, re, do, ti, si, la. For minor tonality. We establish meter by chanting a rhythmic sequence in that meter. Ba, 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 ba. Or do-day-do, do-day-do. We need another gesture that indicates that everyone is to echo. I use 2 hands out like this. Ba, 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 ba. Or bum, 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 bum. We need a gesture that indicates that only one person will echo. I use 1 hand. Ba, 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 ba. Or bum, 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 bum. And we need a final gesture that inspires our students to breathe. I use a flick of the wrist. Bum, 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 bum. Ba, 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 ba. The pattern I sing. Wait for the gesture, take a breath, and be my echo. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Now it's very important that you take that breath. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Thank you to everybody that's watching. Bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum. Good. Now we have this one gesture that I haven't done yet, and that is the one hand sweep. When one hand comes out, I'm going to give an indication that everybody's going to breathe, and then the hammer of justice is going to come down on one person, and that person will perform by themselves. Because everybody, bum, 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 bum. One hand, one person is going to perform. Bum, bum, bum. Everybody breathes. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. You never know where it's going to come down. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum.
Oh,
Bum, 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 bum. But the point is that everybody breathes. Who breathes?
everyone.
Let's do a couple more. Sol, la, sol, fa, mi, re, ti, do. This just means audiate. Sol, la, sol, fa, mi, re, ti, do. So audiate the pattern I sing, wait for the gesture, take a breath, and be my echo. Do, mi, do. Do, mi, do. Remember, one hand comes out, an individual person will perform. Re, ti, re. Re, ti, re. Do, mi, do. Do, mi, do. Re, ti. Re, ti. Re, ti. Re, ti. Do, mi, do. Do, mi, do. Re, ti. Re, ti. Do, mi, do. Do, mi, do. Re, ti. Re, ti. Do, mi, so. Do, mi, so. Re, ti. Re, ti. Do, mi, do. Do, mi, do. Re, ti. Re, ti. Re, ti. Re, ti. Re, ti. Re, ti. Do, mi, do. Do, mi.